Hello and welcome to First Dog on the Moon's Spoken Cartoons. I'm Guardian Cartoonist, First Dog on the Moon. And today's cartoon is entitled Generational Wealth. It was published in The Guardian on Wednesday, the 18th of February 2026. It is a three-frame cartoon and as ever starts with a little heading. Now, in this little heading, I've drawn someone looking a bit cross and they're twiddling their thumbs. They're looking over at an elderly lady who is sniffing a flower. She's also wearing a purple hat with a flower in it. And the text above it reads, this is the heading, "Are you sitting around twiddling your thumbs, pretending you're not waiting for your parents to die so you can flog the family home? You monster." Now we're into the first frame. The text at the top reads, "A $5.4 trillion intergenerational asset transfer will take place over the next 20 years as all the wealthy boomers pop their clogs. It is expected to concentrate wealth inequality even further as the number of people who can afford to own a house/houses continues to dwindle. Boo." And then I've drawn a befuddled, confused-looking person. And on their right, I've drawn Mum's place, and Mum is a little old and she's standing out by the nice picket fence. And then over on the other side, I've drawn your place, which is a rundown house, and there's a for rent sign out the front. Underneath that it says, "Australia's ungrateful children can't wait to get their grasping mitts on Mum's Royal Dalton Toby jugs and original Elvis velvet paintings so they can stick them on eBay." Now we're on to frame 2, and at the top it reads, "My own father told me he refuses to die just to spite the rest of us." It's true. Hi, Dad, if you're listening. We are all just waiting so we can get rid of all the quote, "family heirlooms," unquote, that he has foisted on us. And I've drawn my dad. He's a jolly-looking, beardy fellow. He's a sort of grey and drinking an enormous bottle of Prosecco. And I've drawn myself. I'm wearing a red T-shirt. And Dad says, "Do you still have that fishing reel I sent you in a plastic bag 20 years ago? I was very fond of that fishing reel. It is a very good one." To which I reply, and I'm looking off to the side away from him, which suggests in cartoon language that I'm lying. I reply, "Of course, Dad. I sleep with it under my pillow every night. It is my pride and joy." Underneath that, I've drawn both of us again. Dad says, "Don't lie to me. I'm cutting you out of my will." He looks cross, and I look weary, and I'm saying, "Again?" I realised after I had finished this cartoon that what I should have said, that I was saying in that frame, was, "Stop spending my inheritance, you old goat." Anyway, we're on to frame 3 now. At the top it reads, "Dad told me that just this morning he was in his chair yoga class," that's a real thing, "at Decrepit Meadows Maximum Security Aged Care Facility, and he said to all the other elderly inmates, 'The health buggers are keeping me alive. They won't let me die.'" This is true. He told me that he said this to them. And I've got a whole bunch of old people sitting in some chairs looking a little grumpy, with raising their arms, doing chair yoga. And Dad has DNR on his T-shirt, which stands for Do Not Resuscitate. And then the woman next to him is saying, "I know, right?" And the next guy's saying, "Tell me about it." And the last one is saying, "So true." Everyone nodded in agreement to what Dad was saying. And under that it finally says, "Millions of Australians are locked out of housing ownership. As a nation we should probably implement a death or estate tax, but only after my dad has kicked it, which is hopefully many, many years away." And that's all for this edition of First Dog on the Moon's Spoken Cartoons. I've had a lovely time. I hope you've had a lovely time. Please like and subscribe and all of those sorts of things. I'd appreciate it. Thank you. Bye.